everybody and welcome to Music with Meg's Violin School. This is lesson number 9 and today we're learning another second finger position.
Everybody follow me, it's Music with Meg.
So we've learnt that our second finger goes up a tone from our first finger and a semitone to our third finger. So your second finger is squished up next to your third finger. And this is the second finger position that we've come across so far. On the G string, that's your B. On the D string, that's your F sharp. On the A string, that's your C sharp. And on the E string, it's your G sharp. But not all keys have those notes in them. So if you want to make your G sharp into a G natural, you need to move your second finger. So instead of being a tone up from F sharp on the E string, it needs to be a semitone up. And as we've learnt before, a semitone is when the fingers are squished together. So our second finger position is down here next to the first finger. So let's have a look on the A string. You've got A, your first finger is B, and then if you want to play C instead of C sharp, you pop your second finger down next to your first finger. So there's no longer any gap between my first finger and my second finger. Now, this is where your fingers might struggle to adjust because we're now going to put our third finger a tone away from the second finger. So if you've still got your finger tapes on your violin, your third finger is going on the third finger tape. Now you might not be used to your second and third fingers being so far apart. So we're going to practice picking up the third finger and putting it back down again. We don't want our third finger to end up getting closer to the second finger because then we'll start playing flat and we're not going to be playing in tune. So without playing with the bow, we're just going to practice putting those three fingers down. So A, B, C, which is next to the first finger, and then a bit of a stretch, a bit more of a stretch than you're used to for the third finger. We're going to do that on the A string. Just practice popping your fingers down and then lift your third finger up and down a few times to get that muscle working. Then we're going to move down onto the D string. So we've got D, E, F instead of F sharp, and stretch up for your third finger. This is where you can see it's really helpful for your elbow to be moving underneath the violin, because if your elbow is not tucked under the instrument, you're going to have a harder time getting your fingers around. There we go, let's lift our third finger up and down a little bit more. Now onto the G string, G, A, and now we're playing B flat, so that's our low second finger, and oh, it's a stretch up to C. Let's work that one a little bit. Good. And now finally, let's move up to the E string. So E, F sharp, G natural, so that's next to F sharp, and then reach up for our A. And again, we're just going to lift our fingers, our third finger up and down. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the bow. So we want to make sure that our notes are really nice and in tune. You can use your finger tapes for your first finger and your third finger, but your second finger is not going on the finger tape. It's going to go next to your first finger. Here we go, on the A string, we've got A, B, C, and then D. Can you check your D with the string below? And then let's just lift the D off a few times and put it back on again. So that's a tone between the C and D. Now let's move on to our D string. We've got D, E, F, and then reach up a tone to G. Check it. And let's play F, G. Good. Onto the G string, G, A, flat, and C, and B flat, finally onto the E string. We've got E, F sharp, G, and then A. Check it. G, A, G, A, G. Now you might notice that when you play those 4 notes, open string, first finger, low second finger, and third finger, sounds a bit sad. That's because that second finger is our minor third. So before, with our second finger raised, it's a major third. Now we're onto our minor third. But a low second finger isn't just for minor keys. Major keys use a low second finger too. Let's carry on with our G major scale that we learned last week. We're going to start on G. Now we're going to carry on going up. And because G major doesn't have a C sharp or a G sharp, it's got a C natural and a G natural, you'll notice that we're going to need our low second fingers in the second octave. So here we go, from G, A, B, and now C natural. And we finish on G, which is here. So our second finger stays close to our first finger. Let's go back down. G, F sharp, E, D, and then second finger. We're not touching our third finger, we're touching our first finger for C, B, A, G. And now on our way down, our second fingers are going to be back up again. So G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. One more time, all together. And back down. So a little exercise that we can play to help us practice our low second finger sounds like this. We're going to start on the A string. We're going to play A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D, C, D, A. So that's open, 1, low 2, 3, 2, 3, open. And we'll play that again. And open, open. So the first 2 parts go like this. And then we repeat the beginning again. And then we're going to play A. And then C, so that's a low second finger, and A. So all together it sounds like this. You can play that on any string, on D. practice your low second finger. You can practice placing your fingers down and making sure that you work on keeping a tone between your second finger and your third finger. So just practice placing your third finger down and up again. Once you've done that, you can work on your G major scale. So the first octave, you've got high second fingers, and once you get to the second octave, so on the A and the E strings, your second fingers are going to be low, so that's a semitone from your first finger. Once you've done that, you can practice that melody that we've just learnt. Remember that you can play it on all 4 strings, but as you move to the lower strings, remember that your elbow needs to tuck up under the body of your violin so that your wrist and your fingers can get round the fingerboard. And don't forget that we want to leave a gap on the palm of our hand for our little mouse to live. It's going to get even more important as we learn these new finger positions, that we're not squashing our hand, because that's going to make it really difficult for us to play in tune. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel so you'll know when my violin lesson comes next week. But for now, have a lovely week and I'll see you next time. Bye! Before you go, please consider making a contribution to Music with Meg. You can join me on Patreon or via PayPal. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye!